did mention asylum seeker accommodation being planned in the heart of the city, and was asking the question, how do those, say for instance, around the Victoria Quarter feel about the international protection accommodation arrival of, there's 104 beds in 73 rooms, which now will be set aside in a budget hotel on MacCurtain Street, is Res Hotel, for people seeking refuge in Ireland who are under international protection. It made the echo this morning, but it was brought to my attention first overnight by some emails that were being distributed by government departments who were doing a Q&A and explaining what was going on to politicians and indeed local councillors, amongst them Councillor Ken O'Flynn with the Independent Party. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, Neil. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. So, what do we know about this? We know that it's MacCurtain Street. We know the address.
It's 55 MacCurtain Street, which is Res Hotel. Which is that newly constructed or reconstructed hotel, which is a brand new facility. We know that there's 104 rooms inside there, as you mentioned.
No, 73 rooms. As capacity for 104.
With a capacity for 104. We know that these people will be coming in shortly in international protection. Now we're being told that it is for single female international protection applicants, but you know what it's intended for and what actually happens, where nobody actually really knows, because I've gotten those figures before, and it turned out that it was the majority was not single females.
Have you heard in the past where the proposal was to be single females and didn't turn out that way?
I have. Look, you can go not too far if you go beyond the Shandon Bells B&B. There's about 5 or 6 B&Bs there up by UCC that one or two of them we got the notification last year or the year before last maybe that this was going to be female IPAS, and it didn't turn out to be.
Not did it turn out to be.
It became a mix, and later it became all male.
Yeah.
As far as I can maintain, and from what I've seen myself from video footage that I've seen, and who came off the bus and all this sort of stuff, which is going around on social media all the time. Look, let's call a spade a spade. Look, I suppose we were sent this information from the department yesterday, which was quite extensive. They've informed us that these people will be coming in shortly, that there'll be 3 meals a day, that their toiletries will be looked after, that there'll be a snack kitchen operating 24/7, and coffee and tea facilities as well available for them 24/7. And they didn't give us a timeline of the contract is signed for 1 year with the option to renew, and they certainly didn't give us a timeline of when this hotel will be back into the general public use.
Okay, so to some extent it continues to run as a hotel. Are you telling me with regards to kitchen facilities are open and chefing and food is provided?
Well, 3 meals a day will be provided, plus the snacks and the 24-hour coffee and tea facilities, as well as full internet as well will be available for them.
Okay. Staffing? Do we know of staffing there? Obviously they would come with the amount of staff.
The hotel staff will be in place, yes.
So that would be operation manager, night manager, receptionists, housekeepers, cleaners, food services.
No,
but the private company, MacCurtain Street Hoteliers Limited,
it's a hotel.
They foot that bill themselves. None of our business if they
foot that bill themselves, but of course that bill is passed on. They're getting their rate from the government, whatever deal they worked out with the government department, and they're being paid to house these people the same as they would if Falcon Holidays rang them and said, "Look, I have 30 or 40 or 100 Americans I want to stay in your hotel."
But it must be an attractive rate to close to the public and to flip to asylum seekers, right?
Well, look, the reality here, Neil, is that I've been talking to hoteliers and I've been talking to people in the hospitality industry for quite some time now who have been very frustrated by this. The reality is that there's a tremendous amount of hotels in this country that are now making large sums of money. They have full contracts. They don't have to worry about downtimes. They don't have to worry about empty rooms. They don't have to worry about facilities and upkeep and the whole lot. They don't have to worry about quiet winters.
Correct.
Correct.
So can you blame them from an economic point of view?
Look, there's opportunity. I have no look. If anyone wants to do business in this country, I have no problem with somebody doing business. And look, you can't blame a fella for taking advantage of a scheme that's out there or an opportunity. You can't. Look, that's the reality of it. I'm in business to make money. You're in business to make money. Everybody is running a small business out there at the moment is in business to make money. It's not for the good of our health or the good of someone else's health.
But the point that has to be made.
You can't blame that hotel.
Yeah, the point that has to be made though is that in spite of things supposed to be getting slower and quieter with regards to those wishing to come here, 14,500 international protection individuals came to Ireland this year so far. 14,500 of them. So it's not the numbers aren't dropping.
No, they're not. They're not. Neil, you remember as well as
they're going up because for the entire of last year, it was 12,000 for the whole of last year, and it's 14,500 so far. To I guess this figure is to September, so we have another 3 months to go.
So currently, there's 32,192 numbers in international protection applications who are current being accommodated by the state. As you said, this year alone, up to date, up to September, it's 14,362 people have arrived. As you are aware, Roger O'Gorman sent out the text message a number of months ago, or over a year ago now, in several messages, in all sorts of languages, saying Ireland is open, come to Ireland. So of course people are coming to Ireland.
And so if they do and they have nowhere to go and hotels flip, there's like going on about full board, like 3 meals a day on site, access to a canteen and tea, coffee and snacks 24/7. And that's only causing, saying things like that is only causing disquiet and disharmony and anger, isn't it? It's just stoking the fire.
Well, I'm not stoking any fire. I'm telling the facts of what's happening in this country. I find it amazing that we have found money for these people that have never paid into a tax system, that we don't know any background about, people that are clearing up their passports and putting them down toilets on Ryanair flights coming into this country, many of whom have been living in France, many of whom have been living in the UK, many of whom have been living in Europe for the last number of months or years at times, right, from what I can ascertain. And they're coming into Ireland and they're being provided all these services and they're provided a medical card. But Neil, can I tell you one thing? I've come across people that are dealing with frontline in Dublin Airport, and they've told me the stories where people will arrive in and they'll say, I have no need to provide my name to you. I'm claiming international protection, but I'm not giving you my name. And they're bussed then from Dublin Airport out to the Central Hotel out there. There's one man at a desk who is saying, will you give me your name for international protection and to fill out that? They're saying no. They've been sent over to another desk and they're being handed a medical card. Now, Neil, I ask you the question, what name are they putting on the medical card? Are they putting down Mr. X? Or are they providing a name for the medical card?
Each resident will have their own lockable bedroom. Each resident will have shower and toilet facilities in partitioned. That means the shower and toilet facility will be private to each resident. It's fairly. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's not a bad deal. It's much better than what people have in Simon. Much better than what our own people have in Simon. And I have to say to you, Neil,
and it's happened already. Say, for instance, I know that the East Village flipped. It's a much smaller hotel, but it flipped to males, and they're not causing. There's no problem. They're not causing any trouble. They're doing their own thing, and they're being very respectful. Maybe the same will happen. Maybe the same will happen on MacCurtain Street, no?
And maybe it won't.
Or is it just...
Neil, can I just say to you, there's 9,899 single Irish adults homeless at the moment. 2,093 families homeless at the moment. 4,404 children under the age of 18 in Ireland homeless.
So what are you suggesting?
No. What I'm suggesting is that everybody should be treated fairly. I don't understand why this government can leave our own people, our own children, our own Irish people on the streets and can't provide a hotel and the same quality of accommodation for those that are in homeless services. And now, also bear in mind, there's a number of people listening to this radio show today, and I had somebody inside my office yesterday, actually, and I don't want to identify the person, but they're sleeping in their car with their children. I had a man in my office the other day who doesn't have custody of his children. His 2 children are living with his mother at the moment. His wife, look, there was problems and there was
that happens.
Problems. Yeah, that happens. That's life. But this guy can't get an apartment. Like, this guy is working. He can't get an apartment. He's sleeping in his sister's house. His 2 kids are sleeping in his mother's house. He's homeless. He's not on that record. But yet there seems to be no help for people like that. And there seems to be a huge amount of help for people. And it's not, look, believe me, I'm not racist in any way. It's not about the colour of your skin. It's not about what religion you practice. It's not about where you're from or what you do. It's about being fair to everybody. And what I can't understand, and I'm telling you as a politician, as a local politician, what I can't understand is how is the government providing all these facilities, telling us that they have loads of money, telling us what a rich country we are, telling us what a fantastic country this is, and we can't provide a space for 14,000 people that are Irish homeless.
Yeah, I'm just staying with
time in any day, Neil, and I have people in my office every day of the week looking for houses that are sleeping on their sisters' couches, that are families that are torn apart.
Oh, I don't know if I've lost that line. Are you still there, Ken? Okay, an adult